6:30 Monday morning, I'm here hiding in my bed.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Joanne Mercier here from Monday Morning Catholic, and we are so glad that you came back to join us for our second round of interviews from the National Association of Pastoral Musicians Convention in St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, the three amigos have been roaming the halls and roaming the exhibits. Well, they're also buying stuff too, but they've been looking for folks, old and new, to liturgical music, to see if they could bring back some very interesting interviews for you, for those of us who could not go. You know, some of us do have to work, and I'll tell you more about that later. Not on this podcast, but later. First off, we have for you someone who is what I would consider a pioneer in liturgical music, Father John Foley of the St. Louis Jesuits. Our own roving musician, Linda Reed, got a chance to speak with Father Foley in the middle of his workshop offerings, and she was able to send this back for us. Hope you enjoy it.
Hello, this is Linda Reed, one of the regular contributors of our Monday Morning Catholic blog. I'm here in St. Louis at the NPM convention, and I've just attended two wonderful sessions by Father John Foley, who many of you know from his music that we all use and love, and we'll probably talk a little more about that in a minute. First, I would like to introduce Father John Foley, SJ.
Hi.
And I would like to ask him what he is doing presently in the way of service to the church.
I've become the artist in residence at St. Louis University, and I also am the editor of a website called the Sunday Website, which is a web magazine. It's entirely new every Sunday, every week I mean, to prepare you for the readings of the coming Sunday. It's
And
terrific.
It's a wonderful website.
It's got about 10 different viewpoints. So one of them is from the cultural surroundings at Jesus' time. One of them is about the spirituality of the readings. One of them is questions that you have at your group, or maybe you, when you're sitting at home and you read the question, you say, "Oh my gosh," or whatever you say. There's many different types of stuff, and there's a listing of what people are playing for music for that Sunday. And the address is liturgy.slu.edu.
Amen.
Amen. So that's what I'm doing.
That's wonderful, though. And that in itself is a wonderful service, aside from the fact that you serve God as a priest.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Next is a question that I'm always interested in, and that is, how early did you discern your vocation? How did you get into serving the Lord?
Well, not very early. Although when I was a teenager maybe. I remember lying on my bed and realizing that there was a presence, and that presence was God. And that took me the rest of the way, really. Everything else has been based on that, or is a continuation of that. And so as time went by, I got ready to be married and asked God what He wanted me to do. And God answered. So here I am.
That's wonderful that you got an answer.
Would have loved to get the other answer, but then we go where we're called.
Yes.
Thanks,
many of us are grateful that you went in that direction.
Thank you. You're very nice.
Very grateful, yes, indeed. And the other question that we were kind of prompted to ask is, how would you like to be remembered?
When?
After you're gone.
After I'm gone?
Yes.
Am I going already?
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
I never even thought about it, and I can't think of it now. It doesn't matter to me.
Does it matter to you? Would you like your music to live on?
Well, that's what it's for, so I would hope that at least some of it will continue to help people out.
I'm sure some of it will. There's some of your music that seems to me has already stood the test of time.
Yes, some of it's still played, all right.
Yes, it is, and it's one bread, one body.
We remember it.
Yes, we do, and we love it. It's a staple at our parish. It's a real staple.
You know, I was sitting at a piano in one of our houses when two Jesuits were moving the materials out that made up a recording studio.
Oh, gee.
And they were wrapping chords and they were putting stuff on this. And the piano was there, so I was just sitting down playing the piano. Came up with that piece.
Oh my gosh, really?
And then I ran up the stair. I ran up 3 flights of stairs to my room and took the Bible and shuffled through it and found what the words were supposed to be.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's wonderful.
there's no telling what's going to happen.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And another one, there's several, but
Uh-huh.
the other one is The Cry of the Poor.
Yes, yes.
That, again, is a staple in our parish.
That one I was writing, I had a list of the most used psalms in the Mass, and that was one of them. And so when its turn came, I just wrote it up.
And we use it when it occurs in the 3-year Psalter cycle, but we use it in so many other places.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah.
They sang it on the border of Nicaragua when all the problems were going on down there.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Father,
It's God's word now.
we thank you for your imaging of God's work for
You're
us.
so welcome. Thanks for having me, and thanks for using it.
Oh, yes, we do.
And you're going to use the website, are you?
I contribute to the website. I send you my Mass programs every week.
Nice. If you want to see good music, a list of good music, look at our website.
Yes.
And look at the music section. What parishes are playing.
What parishes are playing, and there's also just a general set of suggestions.
Well, tell them the name of your parish so they can find
St. Thomas's in Providence, Rhode Island. We're near the bottom because we're alphabetical.
You're not near the bottom in other sense.
But that's come look and see what we're singing in Providence, Rhode Island.
Well, thanks for having me.
So I would like to thank you,
You're welcome. Peace.
and ciao for now.
Next up, we have a very special guest. Now, this is someone that you may know a lot about through the convention, but you don't really know who he is. His name is Peter Brockman. He is the genius, and I will say that and mean it, genius behind the NPM convention app. Peter is also a pastoral musician, working at St. Rose of Lima Parish in Northborough, Massachusetts, and I had the pleasure of working with Peter for a couple of years, but I didn't know he had done this app, and I have to say, it is genius. It's what I would call the bomb diggity. I don't know how it's been working, however, at the convention, but just from what I saw, I love it. And I think it's something that will be a great help to a lot more conventioneers, not just musicians, but others, once the bugs are out of it, if there are any, which I really don't know. But our other roving musician, Nancy Smith, got a chance to talk with Peter, and this is what she sends back for us.
Hello, I'm Peter Brockman. I'm the Chief Technology Officer and founder of Digital Hermosa. We're a software developer organization, very small but very focused, and we've been real blessed with lots of opportunities. We're here at the NPM convention, where I'm a member of the NPM. I director of music for a Catholic Church in Northborough, Massachusetts, and I went to the convention last year in Washington, D.C., and when I was there, I ended up carrying around my iPad and the convention book, and I thought, wow, this is really hurting me. It's very heavy and full of lots of paper, and I thought we can do better. And so I pitched to Gordon Truitt. I sent him an email in the first part of 2014, and and I said, Gordon, I'm a software developer. I went to the convention, great convention, by the way, and I could do this for you. What do you think? Let's work this out. And so we worked out a framework, and we're here at the show. We built the NPM convention app, and we've got lots of plans going forward. Some of the thinking we have and some of the feedback we've gotten is where is my iPhone version? And well, okay, that we can learn from, and certainly the plan would be is that next year we'll have a version for the iPad and the iPhone. Right now we have about 200, almost 300 members that of the association that are using the iPad app now as we speak. And to a large extent, we're getting a lot of good traction. People really like the ability to save weight and save paper, and in some cases even save money, right? And so it all kind of fit together for them. Going back to a little bit more about me, how I got into software development or any of that, I have a degree in engineering. I also have a piano performance certificate or diploma and an MBA, and I grew up playing at my local Catholic church. In fact, as a kid, I put myself through college playing organ on Sundays, and so it worked out really well. And now I'm married, and I have lots of kids, and they're all grown up. So, you know, I have time to spend at St. Rose of Lima Parish in Northborough, Massachusetts, and we got a choir and we got a band, and you know, lots of good things going on. It's been really exciting and lots of challenging opportunities. And so, writing software is something that I've realized over the last 5 years that it's something I'm good at and I like to do, and I have a ton of fun doing it. So that's the little bit about me and about our goal and how it's been working, and I hope that answers all the questions that we had. I noticed that it's not in the order that Joanne had asked, but hopefully we can. Why don't you do some magic with your Mac there and slice and dice and get us all saying the right things at the right time. Although no Facebook or Photoshop editing, that would be wise or unwise. All right, we're stuck with this face. It's what God gave us, and end of story.
Has anybody come to you with any ideas to add?
Suggestions on new features?
Yes,
Oh yes. Lots of new features that people have asked about. Some of them include, Peter Mayer spoke briefly about some of the plans at the plenum or the convention opening when he introduced the app. What he said is that in future we hope to be able to sell some of the NPM objects or articles and documents. They want to be able to sell them through the app. Some of the other things I can see us doing is offering better technology for providing updates, maybe even notifications. So you get a little, red number like you do when you get email. Little number shows up next to the mail app. This would be a little number showing up next to the NPM convention app. That would tell you that, oh, there's some messages there for me. Let me go look. And
wonderful ideas, excellent ideas, all. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much. This is Nancy Smith reporting for Joanne Mercier in Monday Morning Catholic. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joanne.
Now, this is one interview I was kind of hoping someone would get. I have been a fan of Christopher Walker's for many, many years, not just because he is a wonderful musician, but because he's crazy, and I like crazy people like me. I've had the chance to sing under Chris's direction many, many years ago, and it was an absolute pleasure. And I am so glad that Nancy Smith was able to catch up with Chris and bring his particular brand of British insight to everything that's going on at the convention this year. Here's Nancy's report.
Good morning to all the Monday Morning Catholic listeners. I'm Nancy Smith, and I'm here at St. Louis NPM Convention, and I'm here with everybody's friend Christopher Walker. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. A little bit hoarse. I've done 4 sessions already, but
absolutely.
There's a wonderful spirit here.
Thank you for taking the time to speak to our listeners.
Of course. Yeah,
and just to give us an idea of what your ministry is right now.
Well, I work in a parish in Los Angeles, director of music there, and I have a number of choirs, which is very lucky because I'm also a composer. Some people call me a decomposer, but there you go. So when I write a piece of music, I can try it through with my choirs and work out any kinks, anything that's wrong with it before I send it off and inflict it on the rest of the world. So.
Okay, very good. How did you get into the ministry in the first place? I know you originally were in ministry in England, yes?
Well, yeah. Well, if you want me to go right back, I began life as nothing, because my parents didn't go to church, and I found myself to the Baptist church. And someone turned around and said to me one day, "You've got a nice voice." I was 6.5. Why don't you join the choir? So at the age of 6.5, I joined 40 adults.
Isn't that wonderful?
I know. And then 2 years later, I got a scholarship to sing in a cathedral, and went from there. And I got the bug. You know, if singing in a cathedral built in Norman times, like in the year 1140, and hearing your voice echoing around all those arches, made me feel part of something so much bigger than me myself, that I was just a small part, but I was a part of it, you know.
Right. That's
So
beautiful.
that stayed with me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now you've got a new project right now.
Would
you like to tell us about that?
Yes, I got there are 2 books of communion. Are we visual or are we just sound?
We're visual.
Oh, we're visual. Oh, okay. Here they are. I'm going to show these for the next 5 hours. No, they're settings of well, there was a moment at communion that always worries me, and that's when the priest receives communion and the Eucharistic ministers receive communion. There's this pause, this moment, or shall we go forward, shall we not? It's a kind of an uncomfortable moment. And the church has written a lot of antiphons, one for every Sunday and every feast, and then says that we should be singing those. So what I've done is I've set 130 of them. Here they all are. Don't photocopy them.
Absolutely not.
130 of them, and they last between 30 seconds and a minute to cover that moment, and the choir sings that, and they segue and then into the communion piece.
Wonderful.
And people seem to be liking them. We've just had 2 workshops on them, and people sang really well.
I did. I was in the second one actually, because I
Right.
was someplace else, and they're lovely. They're beautiful. They're poignant. They're written so well to bring out the words, the tenor of
That's
the,
important, because the
melody.
words always come first
Exactly.
in church
Exactly.
music. It really
Very
does.
well done.
Right.
And
Thank
for
you.
those interested, Oregon Catholic Press, ocp.org.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Christopher, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Well, that's all we have for today. Stay tuned tomorrow. We have a few more coming up. Maybe an old favorite or 2, and maybe somebody you've never met before. Again, we're bringing this to you especially for those of us who could not attend the convention, but from a different perspective, rather than just filming or duplicating, rather, the filming of other people, filming pieces of the convention. We're trying to talk to people and get their serious and not so serious insights into this very important ministry in the church. So stay tuned. We will have another installment for you tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. God bless, and ciao for now.